Manila might look exciting, but there are some real challenges Americans only discover after living there. Manila can be an incredible place to live, but it comes with some real downsides that most people don't talk about. This is the honest reality of what it's actually like living in Manila as an American. A realistic guide to help you decide if Manila is the right fit for you. We'll dive into the real day-to-day life in Manila, from traffic and lifestyle challenges to the true cost of comfort, internet reliability, and the cultural and mental adjustments of living abroad, backed by insights from budget traveler, wanderlust, and coastal living. Stick around till the very end, because the biggest truth about living in Manila is something most people don't realize until it's too late. You think you understand traffic until Manila proves you wrong. It starts with a simple plan. Grab coffee a few blocks away, maybe meet a friend across town, run a quick errand before lunch. On the map, everything looks close. 10 minutes here, 15 there. But the moment you step out, reality hits. Cars barely move, motorcycles weave through impossibly tight gaps, and what should have been a short trip stretches into an hour or more. In Manila, distance means almost nothing. Time is unpredictable, and even the shortest trips can test your patience. At first, it feels like a minor inconvenience. You leave earlier, maybe at a buffer, but soon, traffic begins to take control of your entire routine. You start planning your day around rush hours, hesitating to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. A quick dinner turns into a major commitment. Meeting friends requires military-level coordination. Even something as basic as getting home can feel like a daily battle you have to mentally prepare for. And this is where it hits you. This isn't just annoying. It fundamentally changes how you live your life. You become more selective with your time, more cautious with your energy. Spontaneity fades, replaced by calculated decisions and backup plans. Over time, traffic doesn't just slow you down. It reshapes your habits, your expectations, and even your sense of freedom in a city that never really stops moving. Just when you think you've adjusted, Manila hits you with something else. The noise never really stops. It's early morning, and before your alarm even goes off, the city is already alive. You hear jeepneys rumbling down the street, horns beeping in rapid bursts, vendors calling out, dogs barking, tricycles passing by, and construction humming somewhere in the distance. Step outside and it intensifies. Sidewalks are packed, streets are overflowing, and there's a constant sense of motion that never fully slows down. Everywhere you go, there are people, conversations, engines, music, and movement layered on top of each other. At first, it feels exciting, like you're in the middle of something vibrant and alive. But over time, that constant stimulation starts to wear on you. There's very little space to just pause and breathe. Even in places that seem calm, there's usually a low hum in the background, reminding you that the city is always on. It's not just the volume, it's the density. You're rarely alone, rarely in complete silence, and rarely disconnected from the energy around you. And then you realize something most people don't tell you. True quiet in Manila is a luxury. If you want peace and stillness, you often have to pay for it, whether it's living in a higher-end condo, choosing specific neighborhoods, or escaping to quieter areas outside the city. Otherwise, noise becomes part of your daily environment, something you don't just hear, but eventually learn to live with. Stick around. We're just getting started. We haven't talked about the heat and humidity there yet. You don't just feel the heat in Manila, you live inside it. From the moment you step outside, it wraps around you like a thick blanket that never really lifts. It doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, or late at night. There's always a lingering warmth in the air, paired with humidity that makes everything feel heavier. Even a short walk can leave you sweating. And you quickly realize that dressing for the weather isn't about style, it's about survival. Air conditioning stops being a luxury and starts feeling like a necessity just to function normally. At first, it seems manageable. You tell yourself you'll get used to it, but as the days go by, the heat begins to drain your energy in ways you didn't expect. Simple tasks feel more exhausting. Running errands, commuting, even just being outdoors for a few minutes can leave you feeling tired and dehydrated. You start planning your day around avoiding the sun, sticking to shaded areas, or timing outings for when it's slightly more bearable. What really catches you off guard, though, is how much it affects your productivity. It's harder to focus when you're constantly uncomfortable. Motivation dips, and even indoor work can feel sluggish if the cooling isn't strong enough. You may find yourself needing more breaks, working slower, or feeling mentally foggy without realizing why. Over time, the heat doesn't just make you sweat, it subtly reshapes how you work, how much you get done, and how you manage your energy every single day. Then just when you think you've figured out the rhythm of the city, the internet reminds you you're not fully in control. It might start off fine. You move into a condo, run a speed test, and everything looks decent on paper. But after a few days, you notice something strange. The connection drops at random times. Video calls freeze mid-sentence, and uploads take longer than they should. Then you talk to someone living just a few blocks away, and their experience is completely different. That's when it clicks. Here, your internet quality isn't just about your plan. It's heavily dependent on your building, your exact location, and even the time of day. Some buildings are wired better than others. Some areas have stronger infrastructure. And in certain spots, peak hours can slow everything down to a crawl. It becomes a guessing game. And unless you've done your research or gotten reliable recommendations, you won't really know what you're getting until you're already living there. If you work online, this isn't a small inconvenience. It's a big deal. Deadlines don't wait for your connection to stabilize. Meetings don't pause just because your screen froze. You might find yourself constantly preparing backup plans, mobile data hotspots, alternative workspaces, or even rescheduling important calls. Over time, it adds a layer of unpredictability to your day. You're not just managing your workload, you're managing your connection. And that extra mental load can quietly build up, especially when consistency is something your work depends on. Keep watching to discover what you really need to pay for living in the city. What no one tells you about Manila is this: comfort isn't cheap. You have to choose it. At first, you hear all the usual claims: low cost of living, affordable food, inexpensive services. And technically, it's true. You can live in Manila on a much smaller budget compared to the US. But that version of life often comes with trade-offs you don't fully understand until you're living it. Smaller spaces, less reliable infrastructure, more exposure to heat, noise, and everyday inconveniences. That's when you realize something important. A cheap lifestyle doesn't automatically mean a comfortable one. So you start upgrading little by little: a better condo with strong air conditioning, a building with a generator, a neighborhood that's quieter, cleaner, and more secure, faster internet, ride hailing instead of commuting. Suddenly, your monthly expenses begin to climb, not because you're splurging, but because you're trying to recreate a level of comfort you're used to. And that's where the biggest misconception comes in. The idea of the cheap Philippines mostly applies if you're living like a local, adapting fully to the environment, accepting the trade-offs, and adjusting your expectations. But if you're trying to maintain a more Western standard of comfort, the costs add up quickly. Over time, you realize you're constantly balancing two worlds: saving money versus maintaining ease and convenience. And in Manila, that balance isn't always obvious, because the more comfortable you want your life to be, the less cheap it actually feels. And then there's the part no one really warns you about: the mental fatigue quietly building in the background. It doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in slowly, almost unnoticed. At first, you're just adjusting. tuning out the noise, navigating the crowds, figuring out traffic patterns, dealing with the heat, the internet, the little daily inconveniences. You tell yourself it's part of the experience, and it is, but over time, that constant need to adapt starts to wear on you. Every day requires a bit more effort than you're used to. You're thinking ahead, planning around variables you never had to consider before. Will traffic ruin your schedule? Will the internet hold up? Is it going to be too hot to focus? Even simple decisions carry a bit of extra weight. The noise, the density, the unpredictability, they don't just stay outside. They follow you mentally, even when you're trying to relax. And that's the thing. It's not one big issue that drains you. It's the accumulation of all of them. The small stresses stack up day after day until you start feeling it in your energy, your mood, your patience. You might find yourself getting tired more easily, needing more downtime, or craving quiet in a way you never did before. Living in Manila teaches you resilience, no doubt, but it also demands it constantly. And if you're not aware of that, the mental load can catch up to you. Subtle at first, but powerful enough to change how you experience your day-to-day life. Make sure to watch all the way through to find out what can be limiting about living in the city. Just when you think you've adjusted, you run into something unexpected. Some familiar conveniences just aren't as easy to find. It usually starts small. You're looking for a specific product you used all the time back home. Maybe a favorite snack, a particular brand, or even something as simple as a household item. You check a few stores, maybe even a mall, expecting it to be there. Sometimes you get lucky, but other times it's just not available. Or if it is, it's inconsistent. Stock comes and goes, and you can't rely on it being there when you need it. Over time, you start noticing this pattern more often. Certain Western-style conveniences, products, services, even systems you're used to, aren't always as accessible or standardized. You learn to adapt, to find local alternatives, to make do with what's available. And in many cases, that works just fine. But every now and then, you feel that gap between what you're used to and what's easily within reach. Then there's the cost. When imported goods do show up, they often come with a noticeable price increase. Something that felt ordinary back home suddenly feels like a premium item. You pause before buying, weighing whether it's really worth it. And that's when it clicks. Living in Manila isn't just about adjusting to what's there, but also letting go of certain expectations. Convenience exists, but it looks different. And the more you try to replicate exactly what you had before, the more you realize it comes at a cost, both financially and mentally. Then comes another challenge that hits deeper than traffic or heat: cultural adjustment. At first, it's subtle. You notice small differences in how people communicate. A yes might not always mean yes. A polite smile might be a way to avoid confrontation. And what seems like a straightforward request can take unexpected twists. You quickly realize that in Manila, conversations often flow differently than what you're used to. People are polite, friendly, and warm, but there's a layer of indirectness that takes a while to decode. It's not rudeness or avoidance. It's just a different way of expressing agreement, disagreement, or even a simple, "I don't know." You might ask a question and get an answer that sounds positive, only to later discover that the real meaning was something else entirely. Meetings, plans, and everyday interactions carry nuances that you didn't learn in a guidebook. You start to notice it in casual situations, in the workplace, even with neighbors or service staff. At first, it's confusing, maybe even frustrating. You might misinterpret intentions, feel ignored, or overcomplicate a situation that locals navigate naturally. But over time, you start to pick up the patterns. You learn when to read between the lines, when to ask gently for clarification, and when patience pays off. The biggest lesson: it takes time to understand how things really work. Cultural adjustment isn't just about learning phrases or customs. It's about observing, adapting, and gradually aligning your expectations with the rhythms of daily life in Manila. The more you experience, the more intuitive it becomes. But it's a journey that requires patience, awareness, and a willingness to see the city through a local lens. You'll want to see what kind of paradise Manila is. Trust me. If you're moving to Manila hoping for a relaxed, tropical paradise, you might want to think twice. From the moment you arrive, the city hits you with the reality of big city stress. Traffic jams, crowded streets, constant noise, and the sheer pace of life can be overwhelming. Even errands that seem simple on paper, picking up groceries, grabbing coffee, or going to the gym, require more time, planning, and patience than you'd expect. Unlike a quiet town or a small beach community, Manila rarely slows down, and the energy can feel relentless. And while the Philippines is famous for stunning beaches, Manila itself is not a beach lifestyle. There's no waking up to waves or strolling along sandy shores in the mornings. Most people live in high-rise condos or dense neighborhoods, navigating streets lined with shops, traffic, and construction. Even weekends can feel busy, and downtime often requires intentional planning rather than spontaneous relaxation. This is where expectations clash with reality. Many newcomers arrive imagining something like Bali, a picture-perfect tropical escape where the days drift by lazily under the sun. Manila isn't that. It's vibrant, chaotic, and alive, but it's also demanding, full of practical challenges, and requires constant adaptation. The kind of escape people hope for doesn't exist in the middle of a sprawling urban center. Manila offers adventure, culture, and opportunity, but it's not a backdrop for a laid-back, beachside lifestyle. If you're expecting paradise, the city will test you instead. But if you embrace the energy, learn to navigate its rhythms, and find your own pockets of calm, it can be rewarding in ways a quiet beach town never could. What we reveal as the truth about the Manila lifestyle might just catch you off guard. Here's the truth about Manila that most people don't realize. It's not for everyone, but that doesn't mean it's bad. The city's downsides, the traffic, the noise, the heat, the unpredictability, aren't deal breakers. Think of them more like filters. If you value convenience, access to services, and a vibrant urban lifestyle, Manila works for you. If chaos, inconsistency, and crowds make you anxious, it probably won't. That's not a flaw. It's just how the city is designed. Manila isn't bad. It's very specific about who it works for. Once you understand that, you can start to see the strategy for thriving here. The key is simple. Design your lifestyle around Manila's strengths and protect yourself from its weaknesses. That might mean choosing the right neighborhood, so your commute, safety, and access to amenities make daily life easier. It might mean controlling your environment. Air conditioning, reliable internet, and quieter spaces become tools for comfort and focus. And it certainly means accepting trade-offs. Yes, it costs more to live comfortably. Yes, life isn't as predictable. And yes, some conveniences from back home won't always be available. When you plan with intention, Manila can be incredible. You can enjoy its energy without being drained by it, explore its culture without being frustrated by its chaos, and access urban conveniences without sacrificing your sanity. The city filters out what doesn't fit, but for those who adapt, it rewards you with opportunity, excitement, and a lifestyle that's uniquely urban and unapologetically alive. In other words, Manila isn't just a place you live, it's a place you learn to live well, on its own terms. And to live here well is to understand that the city sets the rules, and your success depends on how skillfully you play by them, turning daily challenges into a structured, rewarding life. Manila teaches you to live intentionally. It reshapes how you think about convenience, comfort, and adaptation, and rewards those who embrace its pace and peculiarities. Click on the next video for practical tips on living abroad. from saving money to leveling up your lifestyle, so your relocation feels easy and fun.